line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's
Nice.
racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
Chris.
Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up.
Is the YouTube not working? Okay. Well, right now, right? Okay. I gotta make. Damn. All right. Yeah, none of the guys really have Facebook. What do you mean?
Finger
Yeah.
to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady.
I gotta get you NordVPN.
Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh,
Yeah, we're
it's
good. We're racing.
Crank it up.
See ya.
Oh, it's racing. In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, Fasty.
One last drive and one last race out here on the Showcase of Shows. Race fans, it's time for a 125 lap ordeal here in the home state of the heartland of America. Iowa Speedway here in Newton, Iowa is now on the Showcase. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader Chris Stroud, joining you guys here today as we get settled onto the track, settled onto the show. I know we are usually live on YouTube, and I'm going to give a quick apology on that, but considering, again, our system, our situation, everything, it's only for this one race. We'll do Facebook, but we'll go live back on YouTube next time out, so just stay tuned with us there. But as we get ready for the action here, race fans, we'll start them off on the corners and on the pole. It will be Josh Previtt in the 35. Your number 1 seed is outside. Will be the big 15. That is Chase Shibley. Row number 2 is Kenneth Brown. The 98 is outside. Will be the 48. That is Trevor Keith. Row number 3, it's Anthony Emmerich, and the 23 is outside. The big 00, Matthew Garikoff. Row number 5 will be then situated out with row 4 should be showcased out with Joe Tardif, and the 25 is Riley Hoots. Next row on back to 31 is going to be Jacob Torman. Is outside the 20, it's Tyler Willard. And the next row, Matt Mingle will be in the number 12. Outside the big 5, it is Brayson Collins. In the next row back up from them, Joe Nerton will be in the big 53. Is outside the 39 is Dominic Previtt. In the next row then, TJ Lear will be running the 85. Is outside the 88 is, of course, Matthew G. Wilson. Next row will be Patrick Jenks, the big 38. Outside it is the 3 of Waylon Turner. Final starters, Jesse Singleton will be in the 51 with the outside in the 26, Kelly Hyatt. Shotgun in the field, Ryan Dyer, the 21. All right, race fans, we're ready to go to the action, ready to get down to business here on the showcase of the track and the lineup. I know we have been waiting patiently and we've been on the run and on the move quite a bit, but here we are indeed, and now finally all set to go for this heavy-duty race here. As the field gets ready to go down on the track here and ready to field them on into position here. 35 up Previtt will line them off down. Ready to shoot out the guns, shoot out the speeds. Kenneth Brown, Chase Shibley, two heavy hitters ready to duke it out with them as well. Should be an interesting race as they are on the fastest short track of them all, Iowa Speedway. And off through corner number 4. We'll send them their way, send them their game. It's time to race the SRM Truck Series of Misfitz iRacing League right here now, back on PTA Racing TV. Three wide salute down through the first sector in the first corners here with a wiped out truck and mixed in there, and of course trouble right out of the gate from turn 1. The 31 of Jacob Torman having some problems down there, and unfortunately goes for a bit of a ride off the track and will send his way on back. A little bit of a problem there, unfortunately. Could not quite get the truck settled down. Maybe the nerves kicked in just a bit there as well. We'll take a look at the P2 Mr. Replay to show you all. It's presented by Speedmaster today. As the night lights will kick up a little bit. You can see Sovern 31 got a little too loose. The Tundra just could not quite hold his line down. Got a bad spot and finds himself spinning on his game. Well, not the start that he was looking for, nor the start he was hoping for. So that will bring everybody back into proper position and back into their spots. We'll take a quick commercial break here and let the drivers get squared away, but don't go anywhere. More action to come here on the show. Welcome back here, race fans, here on the showcase here for the SRM Truck Series Misfitz iRacing League. This field gets squared back up into position here again. As you've seen our little commercial there for Boss Tech, of course. Be sure to check them out as soon as you can. Big thank you to them for sponsoring and supporting the show. We'll be a little bit different again, so we'll have to kind of work around here and do what we can from there. Off of corner number 4, though, 35 of Josh Previtt will lead him off into the distance. The 15 Chase Shipley will run him back through, back to the green flag. And the 48 right behind him there, of course, being Trevor Keith, looking for some opposition, looking for some openings or two in this mix-up. He'll fire it in the middle lane, stick it to his gun. There are two ways to get around this track. The bottom lane up to the top to gain the most speed and potential. Then the more conservative route is to drive more in the middle and then kind of lean off to the outside wall. Let the truck kind of settle its course, settle itself back in. Very difficult to do, though, in some regards, because it can get you a little bit loose, a little bit more free at times. So you really got to be patient and controlling of the narrative. Off is clear right now. A lot of problems, the glitters and the good jitters, if you will, from the 31 of Torman, starting to click out and clear itself out. Patrick Jensen, 38, taking to the outside, taking a bit of a different approach here, going to the very extreme far outs lengths of the track. Caution flags to fly out here at lap 30, and then 60, and then I believe 60 as well. I believe is the lap counter we're going with. Actually, that is not correct. I'm going to have to pardon my language on that. That was not the right one. It will be on 30, 60, and then finally 125 will be the final leg of the race. down to the legs of the track here. Everybody looking pretty solid, pretty clean as can be. No one getting into any messes out of the gate. But still, they are right now trying to chase down the heavy hitter of the Big 15, Chase Shibley. It's Fanatec Bostech Silverado Chevrolet. He has the early lead, and he doesn't seem to be giving that up anytime soon. No surprise here. And I know I keep getting asked about this, and I'm just going to remind you guys again, yes, I know we're supposed to be live on YouTube, but for this time being, we're going to be live on Facebook because still, if you couldn't tell, kind of bunkered, if you will, and kind of stuck in a bit of a spot I wasn't expecting to be in, so don't worry, that will be the last, this should be the very, very last time, as long as I don't get myself in any more trouble. So, but next week we'll be back to normal on everything, the call, the show, the broadcast, and how it looks and how it's presented. So, but for now, just kind of work with us here as you have done so far this entire couple weeks, so appreciate that. Thank you so much again. Trevor Keith, Tracker Boats 48 right now, currently dealing with another Fanatec Chevrolet, that being, of course, the number 98. That is Kenneth Brown right now looking towards his line, looking towards his opposition as we got a big white truck in front here. I think that might be the 25 of Riley Hoots. Yeah, that is. I don't know what the heck happened to his number or what happened to his truck, but apparently he's gone towards the ghost route today. Stapleton 88 now here of Wilson coming right through the field. Matthew Wilson right now trying to get an opposition here, an opening, but it's not quite getting it yet. Iowa Speedway showing its strength and showing how hard it takes to race around here, as well as what the drivers can do with it. It's a driver's track, and we're getting a good glimpse of that. Right there on the outside, though, you can see the 23 comes up from behind, jump to the top side. Anthony Emmerich's right now looking for the opening. Emmerich getting just ahead there as you see the battles commence once more. Every driver right now trying to find a route, trying to stay out of trouble as we continue to deep dive to the 3 wide salutes here through the back stretch. Some great heavy hitting battles here between everybody in the showcase so far. No one giving an inch and no one giving out. That much is for certain as we take a look up to the front here, the Big 20. Carrying down, that is Mr. Willard there. Currently dealing with the fat folks up on the top side of the Big 85. The 85 driven by TJ Lear. Tyler Willard right now looking to try to keep ahead of the pace, trying to keep ahead of control. As Brayson Collins making his return here after his season championship that he claimed in the Super Late Models division of this series, now coming forth and having to deal with the heavier, more obscene, kind of structured up machines of the truck series. Good to see him kind of adapting well and kind of figuring out as he goes as we go on board right now with the big number 12. Matt Mingo right now currently holding down his drive, kind of keeping his speeds up to a par, keeping right where he needs to be. But again, the question that remains though is how long will that last, because there's a lot of openings you can get on this kind of track, and you get on this kind of surface, if you're not careful, the drivers just kind of start ticking and picking you apart. With the stages being at lap 30 and 60, it could make or break the difference here for some of these guys, and they know it. Jay Shibley still being hunted down by that Big 35. Josh Previtt not giving it a minute here as we go on to his onboard camera. And just because I know I'm probably going to be asked as well again for like the 100th time today, yes, I know my voice does sound a little bit off, or I may sound like I got something maybe a little cleared up in my throat, but believe me when I say it, it's nothing to worry about. Like I said, we just got over the unfortunate illness that kind of plagued 2019 into 2020, so we're all good though, and we're still hanging in there. Right now, we're going to be seeing that battle between Shibley and Previtt start to heat up a little bit as a lap continues to wind down. Stage break in sight, and Shibley knows it. Previtt going for broke. In the back of the pack, though, Matt Mingo currently now dealing with Trevor Key, trying to get up to him and take his position and roll. Holding Tyler Willard also looking to put the Youngling Tundra up ahead here. Battle of the Tundras with the Chevy in the back. TJ Lear in the 85 right now, looking for openings, looking for a shot in the arm, a little bit of a shot in the dark if he can. Looking for an opening on anybody, but the Keystone Corner, number 12, Matt Mingo will not allow it there. No sirree. More and more like this could be a battle of nutrition as well as just control of the lines. It seems like these trucks are getting a very good push and a very good drive, but once they start having to battle with each other, then it just becomes more of a battle of control. And nobody seems to get the advantage better than the other on either lane. The bottom has a good entry, but the exit is on that middle ground, except for that time around at least. Willard able to take control of that one. Keith losing a little bit of speed, losing a little bit of power, and opens the door up as we go back up to the front right now. Matthew Wilson right now on the 88 trying to put that old Stapleton designed up very similar to a Good Wrench number 3 we will all know and love. Trying to get up to that big 98 at least there of kind of Brown. Has had a great season so far with Chase Shipley as well as teammate. Both guys coming out with wins this season and both looking absolutely competitive day in, day out. They would love to continue this hot streak and make and break these kind of races when they can. Joe Tardif in the number 1 right now, also looking through the field, trying to hang in there. A couple more laps remaining here in the stage break right now in the big double O. Matthew Karakoff starting to get more and more up in arms. And a little trouble there, unfortunately, as Tardif kind of tried to make a run for Karakoff there. Couldn't quite get it to stick. We'll throw them back into the pack, right into the middle ground now. Everybody kind of getting stuck in the route. No harm or foul, but the 98 of Brown all over the place here. Needs to start controlling himself. Running it right back on top. One more lap to go here to end out the stage. And his teammate, Chase Shibley, a solid effort and a solid performance here as he puts the Riley Hoots 25 and the 35 of Josh Previtt behind him and in his rear view mirror. The 15 of Jay Shibley is going to walk away with the stage break win. And the points going to settle the score, settle him up just a bit more. He knows it too, and he needs all that help he can get. Off into turn 3 and 4 one last time, and he has got the stage locked up. Shibley will be our stage 1 winner, but remember there are still 2 stages left to have to complete. It's going to catch up to him, but he's not going to pass him. Obviously, he's not going to have time. Jay Shibley will win that one. Josh Previtt definitely going to be happy about that as well, knowing that he was right up there with the crew, with the team in that Monster Energy Silverado Chevrolet. It's an early win here for Shibley, but there is still run and there's still racing room for the rest of the field. Who will walk away on top of it all? Find out when we return. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's race here for PTM Racing TV's showcase of the SRM Truck Series has been brought to you in part by our friends at Bostech, the leaders in the EGR coolers, injections, emissions, pumps, sensors, harnesses, turbochargers, kits, gasket seals, and more. Bostech, we keep America moving. And by the folks over at Speedmaster. Speedmaster offers only the best in the hobbyist boats market for RC control. If you need to get the fastest of the best equipment and RC boats, Speedmaster is the way to go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the PT Reese TV again. Drivers currently in pit road right now. Your stage 1 winner, Chase Shibley. And currently the guy that's trying to keep his lead under control will stay in the hot spot, but right behind him, Riley Hoots will not be far behind. The number 25 driver, although you really couldn't tell because, well, unfortunately, he does not have that number on. I don't know if there was a little glitch on his end or what the heck happened, but he is not with his number on the truck. And as we all know in the announcer world, that's kind of a broadcaster death nail for us anyway, because we have absolutely no idea who the heck is going. So nevertheless, though, the field right getting ready to fire back off into the distance, into the corners, and off into the sunset. Drivers preparing up for their racing action for stage number 2. This will go towards to lap 60, and then we will go all the way to 125 to determine our race winner here. Well, nevertheless, though, field will get squared up into the stage number 2 now. Race fans will get them up into the track, into the slate, into the spots, and let them kind of kick it up a notch. Jay Shibley will remain your leader. Ryan Hoots, though. Well, Riley Hoots, excuse me, won't be too far behind. Josh Previtt, Patrick Jenks, Joe Tardif, your top 5 at the moment. Be a surreal situation, very open-ended spot here for these guys and gals to work around, have to figure everything out and get prepared up. Matthew Karakoff, former winner here on the show as well, looking to try to get back to victory lane. The 88, Matthew Wilson, hasn't been to victory lane yet this season. Would love to change that though on the show. He's got a lot of hard racing in his blood and his instincts. And he's looking to continue that hot streak and continue on that power and that pressure points. As they come around down off of turn number 3 and turn number 4, this go on by. We'll set the distance, set the tone with Chase Shibley, your leader. Off turn 4, stage 1 in the books. Off to stage number 2 here at the Iowa Speedway. Joe Tardif, out of the gate, didn't even look like he got off the line. Didn't get off the line, might have spun the tires a little bit. That Mountain Dew machine could be having some troubles, but I'll tell you what, more troubles right now. My word, Wilson with problems and Hoots with problems. The 23 wrecking him, the 25 wrecked out there on the out of turn 2. Whoa, just like that. Again, another hard restart for these drivers. Maybe the nerves kicking in. Maybe just that little extra kind of ready to go at it, ready to get to it kind of ideological view there. And instead, it did not quite go according to plan. Riley Hoots gets a horrible start off that line and finds himself looking for a place to hide. Let's take a look at the PT Mr. Replay, see if he got contact or it was all on him. Now that's all on him there. Right there, you see the rear end kick out. And you can see as soon as he kicked off, he knew he was in trouble. The truck just did not have enough grip tires on cold sets like that, not a good sign. Those things do not grip. I can tell you that right now. Needs to get them warmed up a little bit before he kicks off into the distance like that. But when you're racing in the position you're in, this is just an easy mistake you can do. You just kind of forget where you're at and what you're doing. Thankfully, did not suffer any damage in the spin. That's a huge deal in my opinion, because what that does is it'll help him get kind of squared away here on the track. So 40 laps of the 125 will be completed once we cut back to the line here. Iowa Speedway, once again, unfortunately neglected by NASCAR. No surprise there, but the good news is in the iRacing world, still very much loved and supported and appreciated. And they've been putting on a great showcase and putting on some great racing, in my opinion. Been some memorable times here, some absolutely clinics thrown down on the track, some hard charges, hard driving all around. And right now we're gonna see a little bit more of that and see a little bit more craziness mixed in between. Coming back around down off of turn number 4 this time on around. And the drivers will settle off again. This time it will be Previtt back up there with Shively. Let's see if he can get it going and back into the drive. Green flag out again. We are 1/3 of the way done. Joe Tardif this time much better start. No trouble there. So it is the case anyway. And Kenneth Brown already right now looking to shoot his shot. He's going for broke, going to the bottom. He's going to try to drive off quick and hard here. Moves up quickly and gets himself taken for a ride there, but for a ride more so for the 3 of Turner. The Verizon Wireless number 3 spinning and wrecking out of turn number 4. And it looks like Brayson Collins in the 5 may be also involved in that one. We'll take a look at the PTM instant replay. The replay shows all it tells all. Look at this, 4 wide for a minute there. And it looks like Riley Hoots was kind of caving the 3 in, but the 31 there, unfortunately, of Torman just getting way too low. Ended up taking the 3 out with him. As he was coming off of turn 4, might have got a little bit loose, but as soon as that truck dipped down a little bit, nope, it's going bye-bye. There's just no escape. There's no getting away from it either. There's no matter what you do as a driver, or no matter what you do as a person who sees everything, you make that slight mistake and it just takes a few more inches down, and all of a sudden, everything gets flipped upside down and on its head. And that's exactly what happened there to Waylon Turner in the 3. Can't be too happy about that, but at the same time, he knows it's early. He knows there's plenty of time. He can come back and get to it. Just needs to stay focused on the job at hand, and I think he'll be A-okay. So 80 more laps here into the distance still. Field currently working their way around the track, working their field off down. Don't worry, folks. I know you may hear me sniffling around in the background. No, I do not have COVID anymore. I did, but I've got it over it and I'm pretty good. So just hanging in there at this point, guys. Don't worry about me. Well, the thing is right now, considering we're stage braking at lap 60, you see how aggressive these guys are getting right now and how crazy they're going at the moment. If they're not too careful, you know, it's going to end up being a bit of a rugged ride for them, considering they still have to figure out how to control their nerves and how to control their systems when it is all said and done. Field is doubled up once again here. We're going to get ready to field it back down on the track. Field down around the track here, ready to fire them off into the distance, off to the sunset again. We are ready to go. Rodney Chris is saying great experience racing tonight. Thank you, Rodney, for coming on board. Shibley with the lead. Previtt, we can just see the truck just absolutely getting loose off his bank. He did not hang that thing on for dear life. If you could even try to ask him to do it twice. That rear end was kicking out underneath and it wanted to go. And speaking of wanted to go here, looks like Karakov about going there for a ride. Hangs on, keeps it away from trouble and stays on the throttle. But gives speed up to Wilson and position up to that 23 as well. Emmerich able to exceed. Here comes the pack in the back. We got a 3-row deep truck set coming for him. Many drivers working their way around, trying to find openings when they can, trying to seize the opportunities when they can get them. No, they got to go for it sooner rather than later here. Once the track starts to tear up the tire just a little bit or just enough, and then becomes a war of nutrition. And that's where you see drivers just really making some very risky moves and some very daring maneuvers. They're trying to do it right here and now. On board here, Riley Hoots after that little spin he had earlier, trying to avoid trouble there right on the front straightaway, nearly getting a clip in the back and in the side there. As he works his way around for the move on Mingo, and Mingo has just been put back behind the number 25 of Hoots. Now the 48 here, Trevor Key trying to stay in charge and stay in control of that middle and top side lanes. Knows he's got company coming towards the bottom. Shortening the track out here at Iowa Speedway, no easy task, but it's certainly no impossible task. There's a reason they call it the fastest short track in the world for a reason. On board here with Patrick Jenks now, the 38, as we watch on with his vicarious situations. See the damage on some of these boys right now currently. That's, oh my word, that 12. He got taken for a bit of a beat and bang and boost and bump and ride there. Still hanging in there here as well. As you got some company come top side. I believe that is the 39. That looks like it is, yeah, that might be Previtt there. It is the 39 there, Dominic Previtt, currently piloting up that big old number 39 machine, trying to get some move off from the charge, looking for some openings, some areas when he can. Brayson Collins in the 5 also making a good run back here on them. But meanwhile, not to be forgotten up front, it is the 35 thereof Josh Previtt right now going right up against Chase Shibley. Shibley is not giving an inch to Previtt, and Previtt knows it. Maybe at this point just hoping for a bit of a break, bit of an opening or something to help him get out of this slump, but it's not happening. Previtt now has a couple more laps to try to seize the opportunity on Shibley, but Shibley doing a great job defending his run, defending his line. Stays to that bottom. He has no troubles to worry about unless Previtt decides to give him an old bump and run. We've seen it used before, coming close to it. Got him a little loose there, and looks like the airflow kind of mixed back off the track. Shibley in trouble. Previtt to the inside. Pass for the lead here. Maybe. It's close. Fenders together off F1 and 2. Side by side for the race lead. Shibley slightly tight in the corner. Previtt a little loose though in the middle. Trying to make it work. Big drop down there for the number 35. Swings it topside and the crossover. Now it is Previtt with the race lead. And Shibley literally diving back in, looking for an opening. Both guys throwing absolutely competitive haymakers at one another. But it's Previtt who has the advantage. The Monster Energy Silverado now just needs 2 more good laps, and this stage will go to the big 35. Digging it deep, trying to make it stick, trying to hang on. Also in the back right now, still dealing with company here. The big 48 of Trevor Keith currently going with the 48 at that 31 of Jacob Torman. Torman not giving out, not giving in. Neither is the big 00 Matthew Karikoff. As the 20 behind him of Tyler Willard still also looking for an opening and looking for a shot in the arm. But into the final corners, down through corner number 2. To the backstretch, Kenneth Brown will get up there with his teammate Chase Shibley, but it doesn't matter to Josh Previtt because Previtt will take home stage number 2. A big, big win there for Previtt. Now, stage points belong to the 35. And so now, after that chaotic couple restarts, drive off from the line, and a great concluding battle there on the final laps of the stage. We now have 2 different winners in the stages, Chase Shibley and Josh Previtt. But will any of these 2 drivers or any of these guys be able to make it work to the end and finalize their run to the grand end of this race at Iowa Speedway? Well, that's a question we'll have to be figuring out and find out here in just a little while. Stay with us. We're having fun down in Iowa Speedway. Tonight's race here is presented in part by our friends at Boss Tech, the leaders in EGR coolers, injection emissions, pumps, sensors, harnesses, turbochargers, kits, gasket seals, and more to set up on your vehicle. Boss Tech, we keep America moving. And by Speedmaster, with their fast-terrain, all-terrain boats for the RC hobby world. Only one brand and name can stand above all else, and that is Speedmaster. Be sure to get yours today. Welcome back here to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, coming off of pit road here at the moment here. Chase Shibley able to engage back out on the track here, but does have a little bit of company also kind of coming up with behind him, of course, is the 35 of Josh Previtt, managing to take away his solid run and lead there late into the race. Did kind of stir up the pot just a little bit, make things just a little bit more interesting here, and it should be good to know how that all plays out and how much that will affect this race overall, as we are past halfway Kelly Hyatt's getting out of pit road, and then the Pepsi Cola machine will take over the race lead, at least for a brief fleeting moment. And it looks like Hyatt going to end up going to pit road here, as we're just going to get another lap around the track. Kind of throws himself out into the problematic zone, gets himself in a very unique little situation there, so have to see how that plays out. So race fans, right now with 59 laps remaining on the clock and on the set here. We appreciate it. Thank you all so much for tuning on in, and all the get well and good get better soon cards that you kind of sent to us at the headquarters. Don't worry, I got them laying around somewhere over there when I finally get home. But also to the fans as well, tuned on into these shows. That really to me is just all that matters. What's what we want to see. That's what we want to give, and we want to try to give you guys the best kind of show we can. So thank you so much for your support and appreciation. Without a doubt, you guys are the best fans in the world to have on this show and on these tracks. But without said and further ado, it is time for our final stage here for the SRM Truck Series, as we bring you guys Misfitz iRacing League SRM Truck Series 125 lap race at Iowa Speedway conclusion. This is the final stage of the day. And as the night rolls in, this is where the track can start to team up a bit. We have said it here before, and we'll say it again. When the track starts to burn off a little bit, it becomes harder to control. But when the track cools off, then becomes a harder racing surface. With 59 laps to go, let's see how these guys do. Uh-oh, hold on, Tardif. Oh, big wreck right behind. We've got a big one out of turn 2, folks. Oh, my. We're right on the onboard camera there, Joe Tardif, and unfortunately, I think I may have given him unintentionally the broadcaster curse. As the Camel blew up, Mountain Dew gets a little bit of a one-way ticket to the Makes of Pain and shop.com. Ouch, ouch, and ouch. Not what he had in mind. Visit the replay. Just like we've seen numerous times already today, just a slight error is all it takes. And look at this pile up, 4 or 5 trucks getting into it. A lot of guys backing off when they had to and trying to get out of the throttle, but unfortunately, that was not the case for all of them. Man, what a wild little spot there in the start, unfortunately. Drivers heading into pit road already and trying to get themselves squared back up for phase number 2 at least. They don't have really very much in the way of instant repair, so they got to work it the hard way and actually get those trucks beat, buffed, and cleaned out. I hope that they'll be able to come back out here and try and go for a win. Doesn't always work, though. So right now the field currently having to stretch her up and structure back in proper working order. Definitely a little bit of a wild ride there that everybody kind of got themselves put into. Five laps left to go here on the track here, race fans. Field currently in a bit of a conclusive downslide here, if you will. Not quite what a lot of them probably had in mind, or they have any control of. Oh. Sorry for that, folks. Wasn't trying to give anybody any seizures over there, but unfortunately, like I said, we're not used to the system we got going on right now, and our system about just completely crashed the entire stuff, so. So Josh Brevet, Chase Shibley, once again, your two stage winners are going to go back and forth with this one. And the problem, though, is, they now realize if they do not start kind of getting themselves figured out, or maybe start actually, getting away here and making sure the other guys can actually kind of separate out, this could get a very long stinted race. That is the worry that they face. That is going to be the trouble they're going to deal with if they're not careful. Back to the green flag off of turn number 4. We're back at it with 53 laps remaining in this one. Riley Hood's finding himself in a very unique situation yet again. Last time he unfortunately spun the tires out and got himself completely rear-ended. Well, rear-ended himself really, but now trying to stay away from that. Going to the bottom, though, he's got some 3 wide company behind, and a huge wreck ensuing behind him, unfortunately. Another big wreck there, and Matthew Karikoff almost sent completely out into the shadow realm there off on the front straightaway. Young Dominic Previtt in the 39 once again finding himself in a very tough spot, in a tough little deal. Couldn't get out of it in time, and instead finds himself in the worst possible time. Here is a PT Mr. Replay as he gets into it. Matt Mingle in the 12. Both drivers collide. Waylon Turner gets into it. And you can see Karikoff, as soon as he got kind of trapped in there, as I said, he about found himself to the shadow realm. I didn't know the Vlisat Murder House ghost over there came to haunt the Newton, Iowa Speedway track here. I didn't realize that was actually going to be a thing. But apparently we have actually added some spirits to the Iowa Speedway, folks. Hard to really say what went wrong. Looked like just a bit of a racy deal. One driver got too close and too tight, and then the airflow around the trucks just kind of got sent around. And now, I'm not trying to laugh at Karikoff, but it was kind of funny just to see that truck just go bouncing around like a spring there. So field will now have to recenter off again and recase themselves. Still plenty of action to go though here on Pete Trains TV. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna finish this one out here on the show. back race fans here currently acting on the show. Fields stretching themselves out, thick and thin, thick and spanned, around the track and around the town. Top 5, Matthew G. Wilson in the 88, the 98, Kenna Brown, Riley Hoos in 25, although you can't tell because he's in the big white truck. The 35 of Josh Previtt and Chase Shipley right now your race leader in the big 15. Double file back into position now. We're going to get them squared up into position pace. Top 5 I mentioned earlier on, still going at it. Anthony Emmerich, Joe Nerton, TJ Laird, Tyler Willard, and Patrick Jenks. Your top 10 though. Lined up in position and ready to duke it out again. Back in the run, back in the drive. 47 laps remain here at Iowa Speedway. Well, Previtt will get his run and his drive off. Shipley taking it into the middle. And Previtt, though, off turn 4, gets himself loose and finally caves in. Kenneth Brown moving into the second spot now. Riley Hoots moving right there with him as well. That is a huge disappointment there for Previtt. He was doing so well and hanging on to that line earlier on. And now it appears the track conditions changing the level in the playing field, making it that much harder to race around. Hoots now looking to cahoot his way up ahead. Side by side with Kenneth Brown right now. It's a battle for the race in the second place spot. Chase Shipley knows he's better off having Kenneth Brown there, his teammate, right on that run second spot. Making a 1-2 team finish. Needs the advantage to help it in. The 88 of Matthew Wilson moving his way back onto the track though. Works off around. Him and Josh Previtt right now are doing a great job battling back and forth again as Previtt currently after making that huge little mistake just can't seem to get his drive line back under control. And now he sends in the wall protection, giving the Stapleton 88 a chance. And he makes the same error that Previtt made there in the same corner. Just can't make moves like that and can't expect the risk to work out, and he knows it too. The onboard camera here as a 35 swings his way around. Back in the pack, right off of the march here. You got guys currently looking for momentum and looking for speed wherever they can. Seizing some opportunities as well. Matt Mingo in the number 12 moving his way through with the 5 there of Brayson Collins. Collins trying to hold the middle lane here, but it's Mingo who is looking to get a BINGO put across his forehead and stamp there, so he knows that that is his line and that is what he has gained and gathered for himself. Makes a good drive off and takes full control. Silver, number 31 here, also making a great drive. Jacob Torman, after the problems he's tormented himself with earlier, seems to be figuring it out a little bit. Trevor Keith, though, in the 48, holding him back slightly into the distance. The Tracker Boats, Nos Energy 48, not looking too shabby there, but knows if he can find more speed, he certainly would need it. Dominic Previtt, family member there too, Mr. Josh Previtt, of course, right now working his way back to the field. He's had a bit of a rough edge here compared to his other family member. The Previtts have not gotten so lucky unless you count the stage wins, but when it comes to a little bit of a hiccup or a miscue on the brakes and on the turns, well, I think they got that kind of covered on their bingo card today. Side by side now, Matt Mingo will go head to head here with Brayson Collins. These two have been put to war with one another before. Looks like they just want to do a little bit more of it. Seem to not be too worried about it, nor too discretional. Staying right up into the cliff and onto the sides. The 48 here of Trevor Keith trying to make a move off here as he's got even more company coming from TJ Lear. And you can just see how quickly things can just change on a dime and flip on around you and you wouldn't even know it. That is the overwhelming control and consistency you face when you're driving these trucks here at over a half mile like this. It's not a full mile, but it's just over a half mile. Oh, and speaking of miles around here, looks like Collins may have traveled a few too many miles to be put into the wall, and he gets sent up there. 3 wide off the track, though. The guy that got into him there a little bit, Matt Mingo in the 12, now dealing with his own little problem as Trevor Keith, and even as well, Jacob Torman going right back at him. And somehow, someway in all this, TJ Lear is able to find a little extra kick up, and he pushes it up on the outside. Full run coming from the number 1. Making some great passes, some great moves here. Sticking to the bottom lane, looking to try to gap off the 12. Having some problems, though, right in the mix, into the fold, still close together with one another. No quit, no give, no way, no how. No way else to describe it. Shibley, though, your leader, Riley Hoots, clamoring to catch him. But again, this is just playing into Shibley's card in his hand. The more he is making Hoots catch up to him, the more he's wearing him out. Tear the tire out a little bit, force him to kind of slow off and kind of get a little bit off the pace, off the control. Think he's clear to take the move and make the run, and then just completely come back and steal from him. But again, on a track like this too, you do need to be careful about kind of making those certain maneuvers, because it's very difficult to actually make a run back at it when your tires have actually teared up just enough. That's where you got to be very specific on your line, very specific on your spot. Hoots knows this. Doesn't seem to mind that there's still 32 laps left to go. He's going to put a fight to Shibley. They go side by side for a brief moment off turn 4. And what an awesome night of racing we have had here, PT Racing TV fans and racing fans in general. Absolutely chaotic last night. Heavy hearts and heavy minds, but a heavy truck right now, and Riley Hoots takes the lead over. Shibley passed on by. Or has he been? There he goes back to the bottom, looking to fire at Hoots, but Shibley not able to make the pass. And the caution flag out all of a sudden. Wait just a minute. Caution is out, and I'm not even sure where it came from or what happened there, but that is going to slow everything back down to a crawl, and that could be the opening that perhaps they were not looking for. Take a look at the PTM Instant Replay, see if we can find what happened there. Oh, well, I think we know what happened. Matt Mingo in the Big 12. Let's just say he found himself getting kind of clambered and clobbered over here on the front straightaway. I didn't even see it on my end here. I hoping one of my producers would, but the problem is I'm not at the actual track, sadly. Dominic Previtt there, slow traffic there, unfortunately, for the 12, and got him loose. TJ Lear flips him around. Mingo goes for a little ride there, and that sadly didn't quite be where he wanted to be. Riley Hoots, though, I think he's got to be happy there. Now Hoots will have to figure out how to get out of pit road the fastest here. This is going to be a very tall ordeal here for him and his team. Take a close look here as these drivers will be getting in and out of pit road. Hoots needs to hurry up, though. He needs to get in quickly. He's getting all the fuel he can, get enough that he needs to go for, but he's not going to get out of pit road quick enough. Jay Shibley will beat him out and just barely beats out Josh Previtt. Or does he? No, actually looks like Previtt will beat him out off of pit road. So Josh Previtt will be marked as the second man on the bunch. So we should have about 25 laps remaining come to the next restart zone. And a very heated obligation, very crazy little spot to be put in here. I would say right now, the race fans, we are watching and listening on as crazy times, crazier moments just lay ahead. Coming down around off turn number 4 this time on by, race fans. We'll get them squared back up into phase 1 and we're ready to hit it up. Patrick Jenks looks like he's going to try to hit it up a little bit. He takes a big risk here. Staying from pit road. Oh, it looks like it might pay off for him too. Privet, the 35, wrecking in front of the field. Jenks holds the lead just enough, and a huge wreck ensuing. Oh my word. Oh my goodness. Two huge contenders smashing that one. Jesse Singleton, the 51, wrecked hard there. At 35. Josh Previtt may have just had his day ended. Just in an unfortunate little situation there. We'll take a look at the PTM instant replay. Keep right in that corner there, and he got loose. Then he got a tag from Kenneth Brown, and I think that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. Kenneth Brown, I don't think really intended to get him. Looked like he was trying to avoid him more than anything, but unfortunately, once you're loose like that, your truck's gone for. He knew it too. He wasn't getting anywhere around that one. That much is for certain. One more look at that. See if, yeah, he's already loose here. Brown tried to back off, and he can see he wasn't even trying to hit him. Tried to slow down, but just that love tap there he gave him just kind of did him in, and that was the wreck that followed. My word, what a huge hit. Will get out of pit road, but he's not going to find himself in a very happy spot anytime soon. At the Karakoff coming into our broadcast chat here, it says, what's fun? Thanks to the PTM broadcasting team and to SRM Truck Series. Hope to catch a break soon, Karakoff. We certainly hope so too, my friend. It was great to hear from you again, sir. Great to see you back out on the track. And we'll see these guys next week on out as well, as they return to the show with their battles and their wars, extending to a little tricky triangle. You may have heard of it, Pocono Raceway. Next up on the bunch. Karakoff saying, love watching you, Karakoff. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, buddy. Coming back to the line. Should be about 19 laps remaining here on this track and on the surface. Nearing the end of this one, folks. Thank you for all for tuning in and hanging around with us, of course. Now it's been a bit of a long couple weeks, but like I said, believe me, it's been a longer couple weeks than I think you guys realize. Vacation was absolutely amazing and fun, and again, I highly recommend visiting up Newfoundland anytime, guys. Beautiful place, beautiful world, scenery, and as soon as you see that ocean, the mountain views and valleys, oh my word, you'd be thinking to yourself, what the heck am I doing here? Because it really is something to behold. But I do miss my little prairies and plains back here on this very same grounds that this track is on, so I can't wait to finally get back to it. Grant Turner saying hi. So if you refresh the paints, the 25's paint is working now. At this point, Grant, we can't really do anything about that. My equipment and setup I've got right now, I'd rather not try to press any funny buttons like that. So I know it's just Control R reset, but I honestly don't know if the R button is set on anything special here, so I'm trying to avoid it. So just know for sure next time, I'm pretty sure that 25 will be set to go, so it's all good. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Philip Sudfin saying, let's go 23, sitting pretty right now. Well, we'll see if that continues on as we drive them off down and through turn number 4. Green flag back out. 19 laps left to go. Let's wheel him in off turn number 1. This is where trouble started earlier for Hoots. Looks like he learned from his mistake, and he stayed right there with Chase Shibley. So now it's going to be a battle of who can get to who and where and when. Waylon Turner also even making a great comeback here through the pack. Puts it side by side there with Kenneth Brown. Brown having to back off. Turner hard charging, hard running, hard racing. No quit in the Verizon Wireless. Number 3 machine. But no give either on Riley Hoots, trying to hunt down the 15 of Chase Shibley. Shibley trying to hold on, trying to hang in there. Every driver for themselves. Nobody giving an inch. Nobody giving up any spots. Michael Wilson right now also kind of crisscrossing applesaucing his way through the field. Trying to see if maybe there's something in the stable 1088 Chevrolet Silverado. Matthew trying to hang on, knows he's got an opening and a chance if he can just get around that 98. Brown blocking the line, blocking the area, and he is not giving anybody an inch here. Matthew, we'll see you back at Pocono here soon, man, and it's glad to be back broadcast, my friend. Turner still right up into the nose and up into the charge here. These guys absolutely throwing it all to the line. Anthony Emmerich as well. I know Philip watching him on currently, getting a good look at him. He's still right there with the field, but right to the top side. Look out above and down below. It's Riley Hoots going for broke here. He took the lead earlier there from Shibley. Well, he's going to get another chance at it now. Trying to cross him over down on the front straightaway. Shibley going to go for the dive to the inside. Not to be, though. Oh, look at him just jam that left front right on the top of the yellow line. No give, though, from Hoots. Riley Hoots sends it across. Now back to the bottom again. They don't call this a short track for nothing. It's wide open running here from both guys, but Riley Hoots able to use the outside momentum. He takes the lead and a huge drive off now, keeping Shibley in his rear view mirror. Anthony Emmerich watching on, trying to find more speed, trying to find more ground as well. Not giving an inch as we are coming with 11 laps remaining here in this one. Idiot Matthew Wilson right now just making the Fanatec boys glimmer and speed up just a little bit. The Boss Tech crew knows they're in a very tumultuous spot. Not the place they want to go to, not the place they want to be. They know it too. Oh, bump and hit, run, stop, down to the corner of 4. We got problems. And Anthony Emmerich unfortunately getting crossed up in there in the 88, wrecking hard. Oh my word, that could have been the change up that Mr. Hoots was not exactly wanting to see. And now he's going to have to deal with it. That was a huge little cross up there off of turn number 4. And I think that Hail Mary attempt by Wilson could end up coming to backfire on him. Gave Shibley a little love tap there, but I think he was trying to get around him. Emmerich, you can see, just barely gets tapped in there. Waylon Turner gets a good nudge. And unfortunately, throws everybody down to the wire and down to the bank here. And one more look at it here. This was a great move, but unfortunately, execution-wise, it was not in the right place at the right time. You had the right idea, but everything else just was not up to par, up to standard. See, Turler had the run there. He tried to back off. Then you see Emmerich trying to get out of there. Unfortunately, got tapped still and lost a lot of momentum and lost positions before that caution came out. So that's now going to cost him even more time out on the track. And we've seen this before. And actually, Anthony Emmerich, believe it or not, he has come off of pit road and stayed out. He's got damage, but he doesn't care. Tony Westcott saying, how you feeling, bud? And he's talking about me from having COVID. Tony, I'm doing all right, man. Believe me, I'm feeling pretty good. Just ready to kind of get back home, get back to the home, and get back to where headquarters is. So field now stretched in, and this is probably one of the most weird runs I think I've seen in a while. You can see everyone got flipped around here. Anthony Emmerich, even though he got in that wreck, now he's got a chance to actually win this race. Patrick Jenks earlier on made a huge risky move going into not going into pit road when everybody else did. Goes in now, gets the late caution. Now he has a chance to actually take the win. Trevor Keith earlier on, he was battling more in the top 5. Now he's actually got a chance to take this one home. Joe Tardif, that #1 machine, yeah, he hasn't exactly been falling off too much here. He's got a chance if he can get it going. Dominic Previtt, very much the same. This is really just an all-out move here from every driver in every spot and scenery you can think of. There is no telling what is going to happen, as it looks like the 98 of Kenneth Brown actually supposed to be in that 4th slot. Looks like that's how they're going to judge it off pit road. So it looks like Joe Tardif actually might be a couple laps down, so it looks like they're going to throw him, back to the back. At the end of this race, we will be talking to the drivers. All 3 will get a question from us, but only be 1 question, so just got to be rid of that, guys. Also, do not fear, photos will be up tomorrow morning, as we will get to work on those. First thing, of course, we're working on a bit of a time gap here, so we'll have those up, and YouTube will be up after this race following the coverage. Do not worry, we'll get that up immediately. So, but photos will be done tomorrow, so just be patient with us there. 5 laps remain in this race. 5 left to go. Patrick Jenks, the 38, the 23, Anthony Emmerich. One of these drivers could be your race winner to end out the day here at Iowa Speedway. But Kenneth Brown, the last of the Fanatec boys, and those big black and green wrecking machines, has an opportunity as well to steal away with this one. If Emmerich can nail this restart, he will have the opportunity and the chance to really start to clip away this race. This is a big deal for the 23. He knows he needs to get a good jump and get a good drive off. Hammer him off down through corners number 3 and 4 to the restart zone. Your Speedmaster restart zone off 4. Green flag high in the air. Anthony Emmerich will have the start. He has a start, but he's got company from behind. Kenneth Brown looking to take it over from him, and he's going to indeed. Emmerich way too hard on the top side. Trouble there, and even more trouble behind all of them. The 26 of Hyatt, problems down there in the Exalta Pepsi machine. Having to get around the traffic, get around the mess, not going to be enough time. Problems down there again, and it looks like it might have been Waylon Turner involved in that one. Just not any breaks to be had for the 3 today. Race can be a bit of a cruel sport sometimes. You're getting a good glimpse of it. Hyatt getting wrecking out there. Turner is loose, and then gets a nice little tap from Keith. Sends everybody else back, and Turner at this point just said, I'm done. Did not want anything to do with it. Did not want anything else to go with it. He was just done and over with it. And I guess I can't blame him. As a driver, it's frustrating, and believe me, it is tremendous. It is turmoil in your mind's eye. That's just part of the deal. Green-white checkers now in effect. And you can see as soon as Turner lost control, he was kind of done and over with. And then Keith just kind of giving him the old love tap to finish the Verizon Wireless off. So now Kenneth Brown gets his chance, gets his opportunity here. Let's see what happens there. This is a very tough little deal here. Knows he can't be making too many more mistakes. Knows he can't be giving too much more up. Waylon Turner saying to me, people causing racing issues. Yeah, that's kind of the deal here, Waylon. We talk about it all the time, and you see it on NASCAR television. You see it on our broadcast TVs a lot. It's just something, unfortunately, that mindset, you just can't help yourself. You can't get around. Guys maybe just getting a little too anxious and maybe a little too over their heads, and races like this come and go. It's one of those things. So only a couple green-white checker restarts attempts will be thrown out. Kenneth Brown, your race leader right now. The 23 of Anthony Emmerich as well, still in this. And Riley Hoots, after his little pit stop and everything, has now finally found a way to clinch back into this. So there is still a chance for that 25 machine to clinch this. Chase Shipley, his teammate earlier on, won stage 1. Stage 2 belonged to Josh Previtt. Riley Hoots making a little mistake at stage 2 cost him any chance to get back into that as well, looking to try to regain and reconquer. But 2 laps to go now, race fans. We're going to fire him off into the distance once more. It should be an interesting one. Can they hang on and avoid trouble and avoid problems? That's going to be their big question. Down off the edges here, down in turn number 4. Back online, back on track. Green flag drops. And Riley Hoots, oh, he wasted absolutely no time there. He wanted to go for broke, and he wanted to go for it all. He went for it. Did he make the pass before getting to the start-finish line? That's the big question. I think he might have. I think he might have. Kenneth Brown going to try to hold him off, though. Race fans, we're going to deal him off to the white flag this time on by. Kenneth Brown, your race leader. With 1 more lap to go. Can he hang on? Just needs to stable it off and keep his momentum going. Riley Hoot sticking it right to him. Stick the pace, stick the controls. Hoot's going for the haymaker. He loses it off of turn number 4. It's the 98 Kenneth Brown, the Fantech Bostech Chevrolet to victory lane. Patrick Jenks will take home second, and third will go to Matt Mingo in the 12. But my word, race fans, what a climactic sequence and race. Everybody gave their heart, gave their soul, but unfortunately, it was not to be, as the 98 of Kenneth Brown gets a little love tap there from Josh Previtt. I think that's just for a little love from earlier. A huge win for the 98 machine. It looks like Patrick Jenks giving him an old love tap as well, just being like, hey, congratulations, buddy. Next time, next one's on me. Matt Mingo even going to do a little celebration, but it's Kenneth Brown who's going to get the absolute burnouts on this one today. He is your race winner at the Iowa Speedway, and a very big victory for that team once again. What a performance and what a show, race fans. Great stuff from all. Well, only one thing remains, and really only one thing left to do, folks. It's time to chat with your race finishers. Starting up from the top of the brackets, from the FTR team, it's time to bring in Matt Mingo here onto the show. So we get him in here. There we go. Here we go. We got him now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the 12 of Matt Mingo joining me now here after a third place finish. And Matt, congratulations on that third place finish, sir. An absolutely hard race to the end, but a podium finish nevertheless.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. It was not looking good for quite a while. Fast car, but it just kept on getting wrecked.
Fast car, indeed, but thankfully, even though he got wrecked, he still hanged on for the end of it. So, Matt, congratulations on that, and we certainly hope to see you next time out here, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Mingo coming away here today with your third place finish. Patrick Jenks manages to walk himself into a nice second place spot. And Jenks, congratulations on that second place position and performance here. And really some pretty clever strategy, and ends up finding yourself into a second spot today, sir.
Yeah, so looking at here, we are out of tire sets because iRacing decided to keep my tires clicked. But, you know, we stayed out there and we did what we could with what we had.
You certainly did indeed. Worked out okay and comes away with a second place position. Jenks, congratulations on that, sir.
All right. Thank you, PTM. And just want to really quick thank our sponsors, Bostech Auto, Speedmaster RC, Ryan Dyer, and Darkhaus Gaming.
I think you made them pretty proud today, Jenks. Now you're very well done out there, buddy.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Jenks coming away here as your second place finisher. But the man that comes away with the victory today and takes all the glory home will be the 98 of Kenneth Brown. Kenneth, congratulations on that, sir. And really, I got to ask you one thing before we have you thank some of your folks out there. What the heck did you do to just make this 98 work to the final ends to win it today, buddy?
Worked on it, worked on getting it loose, worked on the line so I didn't have to get so tight, and two tires made it really loose at the end, and that's how I like it, and that's how I kept it up front.
It certainly kept up front all day, and he kept you with the victory today. Kenneth, congratulations on that, sir. What a race and victory for you.
Thank you. I want to thank Riley for coming out and racing tonight. That I pinned him behind two of the slower, I wouldn't say slow cars, but slower trucks, and that's what got us to win. Riley for coming out. Riley for bringing a couple people out racing tonight. It was fun. It was some good hard racing. Thanks to the 88 for coming out. Thanks for Chase for coming out.
All right, for sure there. Congratulations again to you and the crew, man. Well-deserved win here at Iowa Speedway.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Brown coming away here with the victory, and that will kind of conclude out today's race in action coverage. Race fans, it's been a pleasure and a fun time calling it with you, but I must send myself off to the distance and away on a plane. I will see you guys back at headquarters soon enough, but for now, I appreciate every single one of you for the support and the love you brought to the show and the channel. Always brings a tear to my eye, but nevertheless, thank you guys for everything. We love you. We thank you. We'll see you next time where the green flag flies.